2021. It's been a weird year. We are located in southeast Michigan, and our spring that we had this year was probably the driest spring we've ever had since we moved to this property. And yet our summer was probably the wettest summer that we've had also since we've lived here. I think like for the month of June, July, there's been like 5 days total or 6 days total that it hasn't rained. So I guess why would beekeeping this year be any different, right? Some of this has been a blessing. Like our clover that we have out in our back pasture is all still going crazy. No signs of a dearth or anything really so far this year. So that's awesome. Our bees that we have, our 2 nukes that we installed this spring are doing great. And we have 2 swarm traps that we have set up. We set them up in the spring. The one over here, just to my side, up in that tree right there, I've been observing that one closely for the last 3 weeks. Some days, massive amounts of activity. Other days, none. However, there's always guards. There's always 5 to 6 bees at the entrance. Somebody lands, they don't recognize, they get attacked right away. So the bees that are there are defending something. What I've been waiting for over the course of the last few weeks is signs of pollen, that there's pollen going in. And I haven't seen that yet. So I just keep waiting and waiting and waiting. But like it's almost August. So there's really a swarm of bees in there. I need to get them moved in so I can start feeding them properly, try to get their population built up. So I'm gonna throw on my suit, we'll get our ladder, we'll climb up there, we'll close off the entrance to the swarm trap. We'll pull it down off the tree, we'll take it back to the apiary, we'll open it up and we'll check it out and see what's inside. Maybe we have some more bees. Anybody in there? So I didn't really hear too much when I was carrying it. There's bees in here. Not many though. Not many at all. So I'm gonna run over to the barn. I got another box ready to go on this hive stand that I have set up with 5 frames in it that are already pre-drawn out, ready to go. A couple of them are already still packed with honey. These are all frames from our dead outs from last year. But we had fed them in the fall so much sugar water, I couldn't really harvest this honey. But it's an excellent resource to save for the next year for your bees. Yeah, like this. So these guys will have instant food to help them along. There is still very much every possibility that this is all a waste of my time. Empty. So this is the one where we have bees. You can see all the dark comb and then all this brighter. It's like they're drawing it out for some reason. Nothing but some worker bees. No queen. I wonder if they're... Wow. This is pretty interesting to me. I do not understand what they're doing. If they're coming in, they're harvesting this wax, or what's going on here. Nothing. Yeah, so like the whole bottom of, oh, well, there's still bees in here. I need to look and make sure there's not a queen in here, which I'm sure there's not because there's no eggs, no larvae. But the whole bottom of this thing is covered with wax. Like they're harvesting the wax from this swarm trap and taken it back to the other hives or something. Which I did not know that that was something that bees would do. And you guys see all that there? All this like brighter colors? I really think that maybe what they're doing, that this isn't new. This is them chewing this wax to harvest it maybe. Well, this ended up being a little bit of a shorter video than I had planned. However, I think I'm still going to post this up because there's a lot of beekeepers out there who know a heck of a lot more than I do about bees, and that's the question for today. Will bees go to a swarm trap and harvest wax? Is that something that they do? Well, I couldn't let this go. I really had to try to figure out what was going on here. Apparently, bees harvesting or chewing wax and taking it back to their colony is very, very unlikely. Doesn't seem like it's something that ever happens. So I've spent a lot of time editing this video, looking over this footage again and again and again, trying to figure out what's going on. And if you look right below where my finger is there and to the left a little bit, you'll see some cells there that are not empty. And apparently, there was some resources left behind on these frames from the previous colony. So these came out of one of my dead outs from last year, and I put them in my swarm trap and figured, hey, this is going to make a good home for somebody. Those resources that were left behind is bee bread. It's the way that bees store pollen for long-term use. And my bees apparently found it. So they've been making trips back and forth to my swarm traps, harvesting this bee bread, and taking it back and reusing that resource. It's probably why they've also been a bit defensive and trying to defend that resource that they found. So didn't want to leave you guys hanging. I didn't want to leave this open-ended question format type video when we're actually able to figure it out. So as always, thanks for spending time with us, and we'll see you guys on the next one.